Hi guys, welcome back to the Southern Scouser. This is the Fulham preview show. Obviously, desperate need of a win this time. Sunday is the day where we can finally possibly break that Anfield duck of 5 straight defeats at home, which has just been catastrophic, really, to any chances we had of winning the league, obviously, and any chances of really holding on to the top four. Leicester managed to get a last-minute winner today, so they remain in a good position. Man United play Man City tomorrow, so potentially drop points there. But yeah, really we need to focus on ourselves, and Fulham at home has a similar vibe about it to the Sheffield United game. One of them, here's a chance really to go and get 3 points, Liverpool. It's a team down the bottom of the league. Granted, Fulham are in much better form than Sheffield United are. They've picked up a lot since the turn of the year. They've started to pick up some valuable points. They're the draw specialists, and they've even managed to pick up a few wins as well, and are really closing that gap which looked insurmountable, really. Looking at them in the bottom three around Christmas time, they look dead and buried, but Scott Parker's done a really, really good job of keeping them in the hunt. They're now only sort of 3 points or so off of 17th, so they'll look at this as a really big chance to jump out of that bottom three. I thought Fulham were really, really unlucky against Tottenham in the week. They only lost to an own goal. Had chances themselves as well, and yeah, Tottenham were pretty happy to come out of there with 3 points, and pretty fortunate as well. So yeah, it's one of them. I think and I hope Liverpool can win this game. Obviously I didn't predict Liverpool to win the Chelsea match, and they duly didn't. I did actually go for a draw, but yeah, obviously it was a lot worse than that. So I think it'll be interesting to see the team lineup. Obviously there's been criticism of Salah being subbed as well, so not much of a turnaround between then and now in terms of the next game. So, the press conference for Fulham was the morning after the defeat to Chelsea. So Klopp didn't have a lot of time to react. But a few bits from that press conference with Jurgen. Kabak, the latest centre back to pick up centre back disease, so he's now not going to feature probably against Fulham tomorrow. That leaves a bit of a hole. Obviously, Kabak's featured in every game since he came in against Leicester. So you'd probably see Phillips coming back in, I would think. Phillips is back fit. He was injured for the Chelsea game. That's why he wasn't in the squad. Ben Davies apparently is also back as well. Whether or not he'll chuck Ben Davies straight in for a debut, I don't think he will. I think he'll probably be on the bench first. So yeah, I'm looking in terms of the lineup prediction. I think Alisson starts again in goal. I think Trent and Robbo carry on at fullback. They're slightly better in terms of form than they have been in previous games, but there's just no one else, is there? There's not another option, so they will carry on in the back four. As I say, I think Fabinho will carry on in centre back, just because the lack of experience without him is massive. It's a game where you could probably afford to play a Davies alongside Phillips and maybe move Fabinho back into midfield, but I don't see that happening. I think Fabinho and Phillips will make up that back four. In terms of the midfield, I think again, it's Thiago, it's Jones, and it's Wijnaldum, isn't it? Chamberlain could potentially come into that midfield three. He did look quite good when he came on against Chelsea. He obviously didn't create a goal or anything like that, but he looked interested, he looked invested, he looked energised. So potentially you could see Chamberlain come into that midfield three. Maybe Jurgen Klopp's going to want to mix it up after only really playing 3 days ago. So, Jones did come off in that game after the hour mark. Thiago came off around 80 minutes. So maybe Wijnaldum will drop out. But again, if he drops Wijnaldum out, we'll be looking for leaders. There's the first 4 captains suddenly not in the team. So don't be surprised to see Chamberlain feature in that midfield three. But for me, I think maybe after Wijnaldum played 90 minutes on Thursday, he may drop him out to the bench. So Wijnaldum or Chamberlain to make up that midfield three, but I think he'll stick with Thiago and Jones. In terms of the front three, I think this is where we might see a change. I think Firmino or Mane will drop out to the bench. I think Jota will start. I think Salah will start, and I'd probably back Mane over Firmino to start as well, which means the front three may be shifted round a tad. You may see Salah through the middle with Mane switching to the right to accommodate Jota on the left, or he may stick with Mane on the left, Salah on his usual right position, and Jota through the middle. But I think that will be the three. So that leaves a bench of Adrian, Milner, Davies, potentially. Probably one of the Williams, whether that be Nico or Reece, Keita, Origi, Ox, Shaqiri, and probably Firmino making up that bench, that nine. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the game, prediction wise, I think it's going to be a really, really close game. I'm going to back the lads for a narrow 1-0 win. I think it's going to be low scoring, although I don't back us to keep a clean sheet in any game. I think Fulham have struggled for goals this season. They've not really shipped loads, so they're usually quite tight at the back as well. I think we're going to see a similar game to a home to Brighton, a home to Burnley. Liverpool having nearly all the ball, and Fulham pretty much defending for their lives, looking to counter attack with their pacey players. But in the reverse fixture at Craven Cottage, we did only manage a 1-1 draw. Fulham were arguably the better team for the majority of that game. Looked like they wanted it more, and yeah, that was it feels like a long time ago now, but that was really the beginning of this horrible slump, wasn't it? That draw away to Fulham. So I'll back the lads at home. The last match I think I went to at Anfield was at home to Fulham, where we had that controversial goal where Salah scored from a quick free kick from our own half. So yeah, fingers crossed that we managed to get a win, because if we're not winning this game, I'm not sure where the next win's coming from. We're away to Wolves in midweek as well, so this is one of them games where you can stop the rot, can't you? There's a big chance here to get 3 points. You need to stick with that chasing pack. Top four, all right, it feels like it's not achievable, but realistically it is. If we won every game till the end of the season, we'd have 76 points, which would be more than enough. Of course, that's not going to happen. But if we manage to reach the high 60s, possibly touch the 70, which would be it's hard to see from this position, but other teams will be dropping points from now to the end of the season. So it feels like a big opportunity to get 3 points tomorrow. Other news, I don't want to make it a massively long video. Obviously, I've got a new frame, so a big thanks to David for sorting that out. Hopefully you guys enjoy the Southern Scouse, so you can see my socials down the bottom, obviously Instagram, Twitter, and obviously you're watching YouTube as well. And I've also got a website, thesouthernscouser.com, so a big thanks to David for helping me sort that out. Other than that, football news-wise, Liverpool, it has been confirmed that their away match, well, I say their away match, it feels like it's an away game. Technically, it's our home leg of our Champions League match. The second leg, which will be at home to Leipzig, will be taking place in the exact same stadium we played them in their home game. So we're going to have two matches at the same stadium, but away goals are going to count. It's a very, very strange concept. But yeah, we'll be playing our home leg against Leipzig in Hungary at the Puskás Arena. Obviously, we have got that 2-0 lead, which both are away goals. So technically, we just need to obviously avoid defeat by a 2-goal margin. If Leipzig were to win 2-0, we'd go to extra time, and then away goals start obviously kicking in from there as well. So it's an interesting one. It's a strange one, but you'd think the same stadium, 90 minutes, hopefully, is all that there will be. That if we can just avoid a 2-0 defeat, we should be going through. Obviously, if we lose 3-1, Leipzig would go through on the away goals rule. So I think if we get a goal in that game, it's going to be a big, big task for Leipzig to overturn that game. Obviously, before that, we've got Wolves, which I'll do another preview show for next week, and look out for my instant reaction to the Fulham game tomorrow as well. One other thing, I'm going to be appearing on What's Happened Football. Torch has kindly invited me onto that on Sunday evening at 9:30, so look out for that, guys. What's Happened Football, great YouTube channel to follow. I'll be featuring on that, reviewing the Big Six results from the weekend as well, as part of that Zoom session. So look out for that, guys. It's been a good one, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.